Hi, scientists. Today we're going to be learning about the land snail. Take a look at this guy. Notice that the land snail has two sets of tentacles. The bottom set of tentacles here, those are what the land snail smells with. And the top set of tentacles there, that's what the land snail sees with. So here's the land snail. This is the underside of the land snail. You can see the foot, the underside of the snail. It's probably on a glass or something. And that foot makes it so that the snail can actually stay upside down. Look at that. It sticks to whatever, and see, it leaves this trail of mucus behind it. Do you see that? They call that a slime trail. Remember, the bigger set of tentacles are the eyes, and the smaller set of tentacles are the feelers, the sensors, the nose almost. The snails have no ears. Snails eat using their mouth. You can see right there. You can see the snail eating using its mouth, the land snail. You can see that snails, do you see the slime trail that the snail left on the person's hand? Snails leave this mucousy slime trail when it moves. So how do we know where a snail has been? You can follow the slime trail. Can you see this snail's head? Can you see its shell? Can you see the tail at the end? Can you see the tentacles? Can you see ears? No, you can't, because snails don't have ears. How does a snail breathe? On the underside of its shell, on the underside of the snail, close to its shell, there's a hole that opens and closes, and it lets air in. The way a snail moves, it makes little wave-like motions with its foot, and it moves from place to place. You're going to get a paper that looks like this, and let me use a marker so you can see better. You're going to label the parts of the land snail. Now, remember, this is the shell. Now we had a head, well, the foot coming out. How do we draw this? Let's see. The foot. Let's get the head somewhere here. And we have the bigger tentacles and the smaller tentacles. Maybe you can draw a snail better than I can. There we go. I drew the snail the best I could. I'm sure you can do a better job. There was also a sort of a tail coming out under there. I could do that. Hopefully you can do a better job than I did, but there's my snail. And then you have to answer the question, a land snail, I think the best part about the land snail, leaves a slime trail. Maybe you have a different answer. A land snail has two sets of tentacles. A land snail does not have ears. A land snail has a hole on the underside that opens and closes and lets the snail breathe. A land snail can walk upside down, holding on. A land snail uses its foot to move. Whatever you want to write about the land snail, you go ahead. When you are done, go ahead and find the next clean page to put your paper. Glue your paper on the next clean page in your science notebook. And now we're going to look into the book Animals 2 by 2. And we're reading the chapter that is Water and Land Snails. Snails are animals. Where do you find snails? Some snails live in water. They live in fresh water or salt water. Some snails live on land in moist places. Does moist mean dry or wet? Moist would be a little bit wet. A garden is one place for land snails. Here's the snail. Snails have a shell and a foot. Can you see the shell? Can you see the foot? The foot helps the snail move. There's the foot. A good view of the foot. Almost looks like a foot there, doesn't it? All snails have a mouth. Snails scrape food into their mouth. Snails also have tentacles. Look on the snail's head. Do you see the tentacles? See the long one and the short ones. Remember, the long ones help them to see, and the short ones help them to smell or to sense things. The tentacles sense food, air, and light. What else do tentacles sense? How are these snails the same? How are they different? Take a look. What's the same? They all have a shell. What else? Go ahead and think about some other way that they are the same. And how are they different? Go ahead and think up one way that they're different. I hope you enjoyed learning about snails. Have a great day.